Hello and welcome to the new Power BI exercise that is from the workoutwednesday.com. So we are in this week 6. However, I'm not doing it like week by week. Whenever I get time, like sometimes daily, sometimes now I think after 3-4 days I'm picking it up. But my whole idea is that I, along with you, go through all of these exercises and we can learn it together and practice the Power BI skills. So the whole idea is that many times we learn about so many concepts, but if we don't practice it, we will forget it very soon. So what I found when I was looking for some exercises is this website, which is very helpful in doing that. So we are in week 6 and we were going to pick up this exercise, and based on what I reviewed it earlier, this is where the crux of the problem is that this week we are focused on making sure labels in our visuals are readable and useful, including making room for long labels in bar charts and putting values on rows in a matrix. That's like one of the functionality which is quite interesting, and I'll show you why. So this is what it is. This is how the final outcome looks like. You have some year filter or slicer over here. This is where you have the measures which are coming in rows. So it opens up a new capability altogether. Let's say if you have 3, 4, 5, even 10 basically 10 basically statistics or 10 basically calculations, right? And why I say statistics, because in statistics you have so many things like mean, max, mid, median, average, percentiles, quantiles, and all of those things. And sometimes statisticians wants to see it everything. Well, I'm not a statistician, but because I look at the data science projects, that's why I know about that stuff. So I'm just connecting the examples from there. So it's quite an interesting thing. Like you have the measures or the statistics here, you have a dimension over there, and you can view all of that in one single view. Very powerful, trust me. I mean, once you give it to your user, they will going to value it. So this functionality is quite amazing. Another functionality is this one, where you can see the long labels. So sometimes it may happen that your data set or your dimension like this one is having a long labels, and you are not able to show it everything, or your basically labels are not shown properly. So how you can show them is something I will going to show you. Other than that, these are very simple and straightforward charts. So hopefully this should not take very long, and we'll continue with that. So before doing that, one quick information: if you have landed very first time on my channel, then this is a Google Sheet for which the link is present in the description. And here is the video titles of these exercises. There are 2 tabs: exercise tab, in which I'm keeping this Power BI exercise, as well as in future if there is any other exercise that I will do, I will just keep it over here, or I create my own exercises as well and I will put it over here. And then we have the feature explainer, where I am explaining almost every feature. I would not say almost every feature, but mostly what I experienced or experimented it with. So all in all, what I have is 197 videos over there for you. So the whole idea is that you can use this link which is in the description, come over here, search for any specific video, or you want to create your own playlist. Yeah, like you want to just go through some of the visualizations, you can go step by step using the link present in the column B. So easy searching, easy look at the information, rather than searching on the my YouTube channel, going to the videos and then searching for it. Just a cumbersome experience or not so pleasant. So with that information, let me go to the not to the Power BI, but over here, because if you see, the requirements are down here. So we are using the new data set this week, and please download the Power BI starter Power BI desktop file here, and this is what I have downloaded here. So once you click on this link, right, you will find that this Power BI file, and then over here you need to, the first instruction is that you need to filter the page to show only years after 2013. So this is our first requirement. Let's go into the Power BI, and before I show you how you will put it at a page level filter, well, Probably if you are following my videos, then you know already, but if not, you can follow it along. So in this worksheet, you have two tabs, Austin Animal Center, when you will download it, and you need to work here for this sheet. However, they have also given you some data source information and Power BI help for long labels and showing value into the matrix, the Power BI documentation for that. Okay, so first thing first, we need to remove the 2013. Only show years after 2013. That means every year except 2013. And for that, we will come on to this filter pane. If this filter pane is not visible to you, then you need to go into the view, and over here this is the filter section, which is like show or hide a filter pane. So right, you got the idea. Fields, these are the four different tables. So if I go into the data model, this is how it is connected. If I just expand this little bit, you have this date table, right? You have this animal table, which is connected to the outcomes and intakes, right? So they do the intake, then what is the outcome, who is the animal, and this is a date calendar field, what we can say, which contains everything that is related to the dates only. So from date table, we will going to pick up the year, and I will put it on here. So filter on this page and filter on all pages. If you want to filter all the pages, put it here. If, as they have said, only on this specific page, so I will put it here. From advanced filtering, I'll change it to basic filtering. I will select all and remove this. That's about it. Okay, once we have done that, let's unhide it. We don't need it. So I get a better canvas area. Okay, so first thing first, let's see this. All right, I'll follow along with this. Create a matrix that shows intake. Oh, let me select it. I like this because then I know on which line I am. Create a matrix that shows intakes and outcomes by animal type. All right. So in animal, I believe there will be animal type. Yes. So for that, I will create a matrix and I will choose the animal type. It is coming in rows. No, we want it in a column, right? Based on what they're asking. So with that information, what do we need by intakes and outcomes? So intakes, the field is here in the intakes table, right? If I try to put it on rows, you see that nothing is happening, right? So if I just check this, it comes in the values because it's a value, not any row or any column. But we have to make a configuration to take this intake over here in the rows, and I'll show you in a minute how. So we have intakes and we have the outcomes. So outcomes are present over here. I'll just select this and outcomes is coming. Now if you see, the table is huge because for each dimension they are taking intakes, outcome. Cat intakes, outcome. Dogs intake, outcome. So total intakes, total outcome. So we need to take this intakes and outcome over here. So two things you can do. Either you can go to this link, show values in a row matrix, or you can follow along me over here, because even I read it, to be very honest, to know about that setting. So since I know this, I'll just reduce your time or save your time. So over here, I'll just select this table and all of my properties are over here. And then what I have is the values. Within the values, what you have is the options, and within the options, switch values to rows. That is it. Beautiful, right? So I will just drag it up here and here, drag it down because you can make some space for the title. Okay, so that's one. We have done this. Let's come to second point. Create a column chart that show outcomes by outcome type. Very straightforward, right? So we need a column chart, if you remember. Outcomes by outcomes type, right? So we need to expand this. We need to move it up a little bit if possible. Nope. Yep, that should be okay. Reason I did this is because I have already read it once, this case study, and I know what they are saying is set the text size to at least 9 or bigger, because Visuals is responsible. It might not actually render at 9 point. But okay, all labels on x-axis should have horizontal orientation, not diagonal, and that's the reason I was dragging it up here, because all the labels are properly horizontal. Now over here, some may require wrapping like this one. Now, what I don't like in a chart is basically these titles, outcomes type or outcome, because anyone who is reading this chart is probably experienced or have an understanding of this data. And I don't like this. The reason for this is it unnecessarily wants our user to do an exercise. Oh, this is here, this bar, how much it will be? Probably 58,000. Oh, this is here, how much it will be? Probably 8,000. So this just does not make any sense, at least from chart to chart perspective. For this chart, at least this does not make a whole lot of sense to me. So how do we remove this? And what is the best way of showing the information then? Well, for this, first thing first, let's hide the title on the x-axis, not the entire x-axis. Okay. And then on y-axis, just remove it. But you see the title is not removed. So what do you need to do? Again, you need to go into the y-axis. You need to disable the title. Now, just to make sure that information should come properly, you need to enable the data labels. So again, 53K, 35K, 23K, 8K. At least this gives me a clear idea. What is my bar? What is my value? I don't have to do the exercise in my mind. Like, what is it compared to the y-axis value? So for me, this makes a whole lot of sense, at least as a standard practice. What I follow. Second thing is 1K, 1K, 1K does not make any sense, right? So this is missing, this is relocate, this is unknown. So something definitely not makes sense. So I'll go into the data labels, I'll go into the values, and I will come into the display units and say none. Now it makes sense. I can clearly see this is 1K, this is definitely not 1K, but near to 1K, so rounded off or rounded up to 1K, or this is rounded up to 1K. But clearly this value these two values is almost half of this value. So we cannot really say all three is 1K. So something to keep in mind when you are producing such information, right? So that's one. Second is, that's about it. There is nothing second. Create a column chart to show outcome by animal sex. Okay. Outcome by animal sex. Okay. Again, for this, I will choose the column chart and outcome by animal sex over here. What is that? Where are you, my friend? Sex upon outcome. Okay. This is what the outcome, the sex is. Male, female, spade female, and whatnot. What is all label x-axis should be horizontal orientation, not diagonal. Yes, we have that. So may wrap up the second line. That's perfectly fine. So I have done this over here. Now you can compare it. You have this chart and you have this chart. Which one you will prefer? If I just click it outside, you tell me which one is more busy and which one is looking standard, right? At least for me, this is looking standard. Not to influence your decision, but somehow I feel that this is more standard. Okay, with that information, format this chart like I have done this one. Let's move on to the next one. Create a bar chart. Create a bar chart to show outcome by breed. Set the text size to at least 9 point. Format the bar chart. The breeds on the XY axis are not truncated. Bar chart to show outcomes by breed. Alright, outcomes by breed. There you go. This chart does not make a whole lot of sense. So what we will do, let's change it here like this. Right? Make sense? Now, okay, let's make it a little bit here. So now you see these labels are not coming. So what do? We come over here, and on the y-axis, I believe I will maxed out this area, and there you have it, right? No point in showing the title. No point in showing the axis because I want to show the values on top of those. Okay, so data labels, enable that. And here we have the data labels. Again, all of this is 1K, right? Doesn't make sense, right? So we go to values, we go to display unit, say none. I want to see the clear picture, whatever it may be. So this is what it is. I'll reduce it probably till here. Or what? Maybe till here. Yeah, this much is fine. The next thing is the slicer, I believe. Set the interaction between all visuals in the page filters. This is, I think, a default setting. I don't have to do anything. If I select this, I can clearly see here. If I select this, I can clearly see it here, right? But the way you need to do it, or it needs to be done, is first thing first is we select the visualization, right? Let's say we want, maybe start with this probably. You go into what format? Yeah, format, edit interactions. And then you see this, for this chart, they should be filtered, they should filter, they should filter. So I'll just do it for one. I'll select this, select this, select this, and it is filtered, right? So earlier what we were seeing is, if you see, oops, select, come on man. So it is showing you the filter value. The only difference is that, but not the one which earlier you were able to see, like overall value and what is the filter value. In my view, I think I found that much interesting, not this one, because here I'm able to see only one side of the story. The one which I showed you earlier, when I clicked over here, one area was grayed out and one area was like a proper blue, because it was showing what percentage of, let's say, adoption is in the intact female. So it shows me the distribution. So I find that data more interesting. But this is how it has been said in the exercise, so I'm doing it. Now what you need to do, you need to select this, each of the chart, go to format, edit interaction, and click on this filter value. So for now, I will just come out of the interaction. You need to do it for this. Oh, sorry, I've already done it for this. If you have followed along, you need to do it for this, you need to do it for this and this, and you should be done. Then use the cross-filtering functionality in report to find out how many parakeets were adopted. So I believe parakeets are nothing but bird. So if I click over here, so you can clearly see from this visualization, right? It is not filtered to 204, but out of 53,000, only 204. So this shows me the distribution of the data, like very less. What about cat? What about dog? What about livestock? Other. It shows me the distribution, right? Over here, there is a almost like 50%. Yeah. So that's why. But in this particular scenario, this is what the bird is and this is what the 204 is. So this is where in 2020, we are forgetting this. So for this, I need to bring in the slicer, and slicer is present here. I'll bring in the ear. Now the ear is coming as this, but the way it has been shown over here is like this. So how you can do that? You need to do two settings. First, number one, change this to a list. Go to the formatting, slicer settings, from vertical to horizontal. Makes sense? Reduce it. Bring it up. Yep. 2020, only 17. Right? So this is what the filtering does. Now, this is the thing we have answered. Anything else that we need to do? Font, color, page formatting are up to your discretion. There is a background image that is being shown. So background image is this one, that you can download it from here. I have already done that. So if you want to apply it, you can come over here. I have clicked outside, that means on the page I am selected, and over here I have the page information. Now canvas settings, canvas background, this makes sense. Browse, and this is the animal background. This to fit, and transparency 0, right? Fit, fill, yeah, fit is fine. Okay, now the only thing is over here you will see that this is how what the color is. So the way you can do this is you can select this, each of this, and you must have background, right? Probably general, effects, background, maybe transparency. What, 100%? Crazy. Okay. Ooh, this is doing a background. Okay, I don't like it. This is fine. One thing is not here, but style preset, do it to none. Yep, there you go. So now you have no style. In general, this is the background. Let's just keep it what this. So now it feels like this chart is part of this visualization. Okay, as you can see, I'm doing an alignment. So even for this, over here, plot area background. No, not this. Maybe I have to go into a general. I'll show you one and you need to do it rest of the two as an exercise. Properties is fine. Effects, background. Yeah, 50%. What did I do it for this one? 54%. Okay. Do it 54. Same thing, do it for this, do it for this, and you will have a chart like this. If you do it a little bit more, yeah, I guess this is fine. Okay, so now the only thing which is left is the text, which is, I believe, Austin Animal Center 2014 to 21. Is that what it is? Austin Animal Center intakes and outcomes. Intakes and outcomes. All right, love this exercise because I love animals, by the way, so that's why I'm like super excited on this exercise. There you go. $16, yeah, bold, should be good. I will bring it down a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we can do whatever formatting that we want. So this is what it is that we are able to do it in probably 20 minutes. So I hope you have enjoyed this exercise. I have some of the additional steps that I have shown you, like what is my, what I really like and don't like in a chart. And this is completely based on how my mind is trained after working several years in corporations, like multiple different organizations, because we have created those crappy chart in the start, but we have been given feedback a lot, and this is how we show only the relevant information on the chart. We don't want user to do any exercise in their mind just so that their focus is on the chart. They should just stop and do the interpretation of the number and not the math. With that information, let me know how do you find this exercise, and if there is anything else that you have created out of it, I will be interested in seeing that. So Let me know through the link what do you think, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.